Hello and welcome to another video tutorial here on our Patreon channel. And today, as I've said in the last video, we are going to talk about ABS or acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, uh, which is basically another 3D printing material which is necessary for us to print high quality prints in order to achieve the smooth surface on the 3D prints using the vapor smoothing method. So we are going to talk about what ABS actually is, how it behaves during the print, and why it reacts to the acetone, and how to get clean and reliable prints. That's basically the most important part, is how to get the clean and reliable prints, because without the clean and nice looking prints, the method of the vapor smoothing is going to work, but you may have imperfections uh, after the smoothing. So what is ABS? ABS is basically really durable and really hard to break material, and it's very heat resistant. So basically it's I would say PLA or PETG on steroids, basically, because this you can use this in higher heat environment. Let's say you can print prints for your car, and when the summer is, it's not going to melt like PLA would or PETG potentially. So it's really heat resistant, durable. The prints are pretty much unbreakable unless you are using some brute force, or I don't know. So that's basically what ABS is. It has some downsides which we are going to get into now, and it's about how it behaves in the printer. Basically, as we have talked in the PLA video, PLA you just can straight up pull out of the box, put it into the printer, and it's going to print in 99.9% of the times flawlessly without any problems. So this is a bit tricky with ABS, and that's because of one thing, is that uh, you need to make sure it's dry, properly dried, and that it's not wet. PLA can do well even if it's a bit more wet or moistured, but ABS, it becomes tricky, because then while it's printing and the material is wet or soaked up with moisture, it has hard time to connect the layer lines together. So that's why it is important to always have dried out spool of the ABS. So that's why I would recommend you to have a filament dryer, and you also need to dry it even after you will pull it out of the basically vacuumed bag, because while they are manufacturing it, from the manufacturer, it has some moisture in it, and even if they vacuum all of the air out of the bag, it doesn't mean the material doesn't have moisture in itself or it's not wet. So be careful with it, and with every material you should always dry it out, or even if you pull it out of the vacuum bag. During the print, the ABS is warping, meaning that, let's say we have uh, a rectangular print, something to this cloth that I have on the table, and warping essentially means that if I take these corners uh, of the cloth, it's going to want to come up, So basically, this motion in 3D printing means like warping. The sides of the model want to come up of the print bed. Uh, so that's why you need to make sure that you have suited print place to print your ABS, meaning that you essentially must have a enclosed 3D printer so that it can heat up the chamber of the printer, because ABS needs really high temperatures of printing, usually about 235 to 250 degrees on the nozzle and 80 to 95 to even 100 degrees of Celsius on the printing bed. And also the chamber itself of the printer needs to be heated up so that the temperature there is constant and it's not cold there, because then basically the fast cooling of the print would result in the print to warp from the build plate. So you don't need to have a printer which has like heating of the chamber. You just need to do one thing, and that's like preheat the bed, close the printer, and let the bed on, let's say, 80 degrees, and let the chamber heat itself up for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and the chamber is going to be heated up. So you can like go around this a bit by this trick. So another thing that I have mentioned is that cooling ABS, you shouldn't cool it at all. Depending on the size of the model and the amount of models that you have that you are printing at the same time, the cooling is going to depend. We are going to dive into this later on in the slicer preset video, where we are going to talk about this and explain it more deeply. But general rule is that you don't need to cool ABS while printing with the fans and stuff. Like PLA, you are running sometimes 100% on the cooling fan. With ABS, you are in a range of, let's say, 0 to 20%, and most of the times closer to the 0 range. So that's another thing. Also, you have to have a safe place to print the ABS, one of which is the closed printer, carbon filter inside of the printer, which most of the printers do have nowadays. Personally, for me, I use the Bambu Lab P1S, and it has built-in carbon filter so that it filters the like the particles and the smell of the ABS while it's printing, because it's dangerous to breathe and to be around it while it's printing the ABS. That's one like downside of the ABS, is that you need to have designated space for this. Let's say place where you are not regularly, and you shouldn't be in the room while it's printing. Also, the area should be well ventilated, and like airflow should be there, because you need to change the air for the fresh one, and so that you can later on breathe there safely. Or I would recommend you using some personal protection equipment, like some mask or respirator or some 3M mask and something, etc., etc. So that's why ABS is one of the advanced materials to print, because it's a bit harder to print and to get it right. But if you get it right, you are going to get extremely durable and heat resistance prints. And also, if you decide to vapor smooth finish the surface, really, really nice looking prints. Basically, you wouldn't be able to make these nice looking prints with another method. Like with mechanical polishing, no way. For the time and for the resources that you need, this is incomparable. So that's basically it. Maybe one more thing is that you need to also print with low lower speed, much lower than PLA. You can run PLA at 300 millimeters a second and it's going to print fine. But ABS, we are maybe in the range of 20 to a 80 or 100 millimeters maximum. 100 is like crazy, and you would need to have perfectly tuned parameters to print that fast. But I would call it, let's say, 20 to 60 millimeter range is going to be okay for ABS. So this is basically the explanation of ABS and how it behaves during printing. I don't think there is another thing I would say about the behavior while it's printing. But let's dive into like some pros and cons of the ABS. So the pros are, of course, that it's highly durable, heat resistance, and also smoothable with the acetone vapors, because acetone and ABS react together, and so that it basically it basically it wants to it's soluble in acetone. So if you would put this into a cup with the acetone, this would be basically destroyed, and so you would end up with a ruined print. You cannot do it with PLA or PETG or TPU. It can only be done with ABS or ASA, which ASA is almost the same as ABS, except that ASA is more suitable to the outside environments and it's more resistant to the UV light and stuff, but they are pretty much the same. So this only works with the ABS and ASA. Oh, the downsides of it, or the cons, are that it's complicated to print, as you have heard, but it's nothing that you cannot learn or something. It's just a matter of practice. When I have started with this, I also ruined several prints, and I was like thinking about everything, like how I should do it because it's not working, looking for some tutorials, presets and stuff, trying, you just need to try it, fail, learn, try again, and then after that you can success. So failure there is just another opportunity to success. So another disadvantage would be that the smoothing is, as I have said, a bit hazardous, because you are working with the chemicals and the vapors and stuff which are not safe to breathe or to get in contact with. So that's one of the cons. And also you need to have the designated printer and the environment for it. So enclosed printer, carbon filters, and the airflow in your room, or just the circulation of air or ventilated area. So that's basically it for today's video. I hope I have explained everything about the ABS and its downsides, its advantages, and how it works in the smoothing process. So in the next video we are going to talk about the 3D printing preset, basically, which I'm going to give you, and we are going to be talking about the settings, tuning the settings, and which can be a bit tricky to set up, but it's just a matter of practice, as I've said. So I hope you enjoyed this video, hope you liked it, hope you learned something new, or you just now you have understood the topic. So stay tuned for another video, and see you in the next one, and have a nice day. Bye.